cover up my snout while I live in your head and I fill you with doubt. Scout me out and work it out how I rigged the game to win. Now the imposter's in.
The chivalrous knight and the kiss of a toad. The truth come to light and the amber is closed. The warmth from a glove and a quiet place to hide. The spark of new love
And a secret on the side.
feel just like the villain. I know that I am kinda funny, kinda phony, always running up a scam. People love me till they hate me, but I take it all in stride. If you thought that you liked Jekyll, just wait till you see Hyde.
I'm the odd fact out of two truths and a lie. The 53rd card, the loaded die. The tears rolling down from a crocodile's eye. When I wave goodbye, leave you high and dry. Try not to be all that surprised when I give the truth a spin. That's the imposter's sin. Gotta fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. Gotta fake it till you make it. Gotta buy it if you break it. If you break it, gotta buy it if you break it. Gotta stake a claim to take it. Gotta stake a claim to take it. Ain't no cake unless you bake it. Ain't no cake unless you bake it. Got a doubt, you better shake it. Got a doubt, you better shake it. You know, you may think you've got them fooled, but we both know better. Yeah, we both know who you really are. So why don't you go ahead and just tell them?
The coo of a dove and the hiss of a snake, a hand from above and the claw of a rig, the face of an angel and the eyes of a spy, the banquet on the table and the missing piece of pie. I feel just like the villain. I know that I am kinda funny, kinda phony, always running up a scam. I'm an independent puppet and I work my own strings. I am dressed up like a jester, but I walk in like a king.
I am the imposter they warned you about. I'm pulling down the wool just to cover up my snout while I live in your head and I fill you with doubt. Scout me out and work it out how I rigged the game to win. Now the imposter's in.
The chivalrous knight and the kiss of a toad. The truth come to light and the amber is closed. The warmth from a glove and a quiet place to hide. The spark of new love
And a secret on the side.
feel just like the villain. I know that I am kinda funny, kinda phony, always running up a scam. People love me till they hate me, but I take it all in stride. If you thought that you liked Jekyll, just wait till you see Hyde.
Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into This Band is Real, the show about bands you've never heard of. I'm your host, Madeline Demiuga, and I want to talk about something a little serious before we get into the funnies tonight. Today is Chinese New Year, as some of you might know. Happy Chinese New Year for those who celebrate it. But one of the things I wanted to bring up because of this important day is the fact that there is a lot of hate crimes and awful atrocities happening to the Asian American community at the moment, especially to our elders out on the streets, whether it be from prejudice because of COVID-19 and the false narratives about that, or whenever it is just people going to the bank with their red envelopes and getting harassed on the street for their money. Times are desperate right now, and I just want to say that I, being an Asian American woman, I stand in solidarity with my Asian American brothers and sisters, all of my aunts and uncles, all of us going through some really, really tough times right now. And I just wanted to address that and say that we support you on this show, and I hope that everybody that watches this show supports it as well, or supports our community as well. I really appreciate all of you who tune into this show every single week, and really just want to try to have a bright spot to your day. I hope that we provide that. But I also encourage you to spread that brightness and spread that light and hope to everybody else around you. I would really appreciate it. And we'll share some other links and stuff on our social media tomorrow so that you guys can find some resources to report hate crimes or to have any resources, mental health resources for anybody in the Asian American community. But that being said, I really hope that everybody's staying safe out there. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into those funnies that I was talking about. So, last episode, you guys heard from Nightmare Gutters and Disco Skeletons. Blanked on the name for a second. But anyhow, it was a really, really, really close race. But the fake band from episode 6 is Boogie. Who is it? Who is it? It's Nightmare Gutters, otherwise known as Max Reid. What's up, Max?
Oh man, it is so good to be a phony. How are you?
I'm doing great. So tell us a little bit about the process of this whole thing. How did you feel about it? How did you like being a musician for the rest of the world?
Oh, wow. So for me, as soon as I realized I had the opportunity to live out my rock star of being a dream, live out my dream of being a rock star or jazz star, or for me it was great because I actually got to be that person that I would admire listening to, both playing and giving the interview. And I thought through the process, like, yeah, I could go ham it up and stuff, but I thought, well, what about just giving a nice, authentic interview? Like, if I were hearing from a total phony, like, what would make me feel good, even if it was completely fake? And that's what I did.
Nice.
Yeah, that was for the interview portion. For the music portion, that was fun. I went through a couple different iterations there, but for me, I thought, what will stump them more than an actual song about being an imposter? I mean, like, the imposter wouldn't have a song about being an imposter, right?
No, absolutely. And you and our lovely friend and friend of the show and producer, Fictitious Professor, did an amazing job with that track.
Oh,
well
my
done.
Gosh. Fictitious Professor was far from fictitious in his talent. He is a musical genius. I hope that there are plenty of links to his tracks dropped because his beats are just, I could listen to those all day.
He's got what you might call sick beats.
Yeah, they are krank. That's
right.
German for sick, by the way. I found out krank. I didn't realize that.
There you go. Well, Max, is there anything else that you'd like to share with the lovely audience before we say goodnight to you?
With my lovely audience, I will admit the greatest lie that I told was that I hate kazoos. I have a kazoo. That's what I got.
That really felt like it was about to be an EDM drop, and I'm here for it.
That's it. That's my shtick. That's my thing. I've got nothing to plug, nothing to promote. I just had a heck of a good time, and thank you for inviting me on, Maddie.
Thanks so much, Max. We'll see you later.
Good.
Maximilian Reid, everybody. You might actually recognize Max's voice from a couple of Final Fantasy games if you want to try to find him there. But anyhow, it is time for the main event. You know her now. You love her. It is Bella of Disco Skeletons, a.k.a. Aname Rose. Hello.
Hi.
Well, there you go. People thought it was you, and it was you. How do you feel?
I feel good. I mean, I'm glad that they were able to decipher that, but I remember it was really close, so I don't know. But I'm happy that people ended up thinking that it was me, though. Right. I didn't get a chance to hear his song yet, so it may have been, you never know. Maybe if I wasn't in this, maybe I would have said that he was the real artist. I don't know.
Dang.
I don't know. You just never know.
Well, I'm so glad that people were able to pick up on that, especially off of that track. I do love that song. Good Feeling
Thank
is
you.
everywhere for people to stream and listen to. It's off of this newest project. Can you tell us anything about your EP?
I can say that it was definitely challenging to put out. It had been like 2 years since I'd created any more music for myself. I had done a couple projects with other people, but I hadn't had my own body of work or my own EP. I had just made a single here and there, and I went through a period of time where I just was not confident in myself. I just did not feel like I was enough. I didn't think I could sing well. I didn't think I was pretty, and I was like, I cannot make music feeling this way.
These are
And
all
then,
lies!
all thank you. And then my cousin comes and he's like, you know, everything that you're telling yourself right now is lies. Basically, he's like, it makes no sense. And he's like, you can use what you're going through, and he's like, you can write songs about that. And so and that's what I did. I was in my head a lot for those 2 years, and eventually I just got the courage one day to sit down and I just started writing. And then once I started, it was like I couldn't stop. I finished it, and I think it was like maybe 4 or 5 months. I was like done with everything.
Dang.
Like once I was able to just like be vulnerable and let it all out, it was like magical.
That's
And he
the
was
way
like,
to
you
be.
see? He's like, maybe I just have to talk to you. So he's like taking credit for everything. He's like, well, I'm responsible for the release of this EP.
So my royalties will be in the mail when?
Right. Right. But I'm really grateful for him though, because I feel like he really did give me the push that, I needed. And he's just someone that's like there. I mean, I have my parents and everything like that to talk to, but I'm obviously have like an even closer knit relationship with my cousin just because we're at the same age and we're going through the same things. And so he just kind of understood everything that I was going through. So
I feel that. And it's really evident in the way that the things that I get from your performances whenever I watch you is that there's a lot of feeling and emotion into your performances that you really try to work in all the time. So I can only imagine that a project based out of this bond that you have with your family, it's going to be incredible. So I'm really, really so happy to know that you wanted to feature some of it on this show.
Yeah, of course. And it's always the best when people ask me about Good Feeling in particular, because it's a love song. And a lot of people know that I'm not like, I don't really say too much about my love life. Maybe because it's really non-existent, but maybe there's just nothing to say because nothing's going on. But but for the moments where there is something going on and you do fall for someone, I feel like that is the perfect song to like listen to and just think about that. Like think about it in the perspective of like your significant other, if that makes sense, thinking about the person that you're with and that moment in time, like that person just gives you a good feeling.
And what a time to share it right before Valentine's Day. Who knew,
Yes, exactly. I'll probably stream my own song a couple times that day.
There's no shame in that. All right,
Probably
but
so.
Speaking of which, I believe we have a full-length set from you that revolves around this good feeling. So before we take a look at that, you got anything to say about this set?
It was very quick. It was very quick. I had to complete it very quick. It was actually for a virtual concert that I did a couple months ago. And I loved it. I loved the way I did it. It was quick, but I felt like it was efficient. And my family was there. Everyone was there. And I feel like it was one of the only times that I really got to perform that song where I just like felt the love. I felt the love. Everybody was supporting me. Everybody was there listening. And so it was really nice.
I love that. Well, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and see this set by Aname Rose.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You like to look up at the sky, so do I, you pretty thing. I follow the sun, the moon, and stars. You align, that's everything. Waves with your words wrap me up around your finger, baby. Waves with your mind, bury me deep inside your soul. I got a good feeling about you. 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 Listen to the universe, look at the signs, so do I. What do you think? I move with the water, the wind, and trees. Baby, please say you waves with your words wrap me up around your heart, love. Sneaking to your waves with your mind, bury me deep inside your soul, baby. I got a good feeling about you. I got a good feeling about you. I got a good feeling about you. I got a good feeling about. It's a natural connection. There's nothing that I can do. Can't crawl my way out to this one. I am just so attracted to you. I pull hard, glowing with the light of a million stars. On my hoodies, knowing I've made it this far with you. Thinking the stillness within that I found my forever. Thinking myself that I gave myself a chance to have my forever. He's my forever. When he moves, I move. I'm the only one who had to prove to me worthy. I got a good feeling about you. I got a feeling, I got a good feeling about. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Good Feeling by Aname Rose. Ow! What a track. What a hot track. Ugh.
Thank
So-
you. I appreciate it.
I only have a couple of more questions for you while we got you here. So you were talking about your EP. I had also seen that you had been getting some lovely press coverage from across the seas. What has been some of your more surprising audiences outside of the United States?
the UK obviously has been showing an enormous amount of support. Um, like they're still playing it on the radios today. I've been in touch with Flow Radio, and they have been playing my song and working with me to help just get my name out there ever since it came out or ever since they found out about me. So I really appreciate them. And I think the Philippines is another
Oh, word?
area. Yeah.
My people?
They've been streaming it a lot.
Hell yeah.
Like, you know how they send you like the recaps and like who's been listening and things like that? Well, Philippines is where it's at. And
I'm telling you, there's a reason why. There's a reason why. We love it. And it is largely just because nobody sounds like that in the Philippines. Like, nobody. I can tell you from firsthand experience that a lot of Filipino artists don't sound like you do.
Well, I'm glad they love it, and they definitely are showing a lot of support. And I've had some people follow me on Instagram who are from different countries as well. So it's always really cool to, hear from them and then hear how they found the song and everything. So
that's awesome. It's a perfect track for it too, because it's very universal. The message in it is so easy for people to access. And I think the hook is really just great because you don't need to know too many fancy words in English to know what good feeling is. You know what I mean?
Right. Or even how it feels, you're just like, well, I mean, it's different for everyone, rather. It's like, you can sort of like base it on whatever you want to base it on. You know, like good feeling, like how does that make you feel?
Right.
What's your good feeling? So.
How long has it taken you to kind of hone your craft to be this way? Because I know that for a lot of artists, becoming more accessible, especially outside of your own country, can get really difficult. So how long has this process been?
A couple months. I mean, like ever since it came out, I feel like it's been happening. I don't know. It's going so quick. Everything's going so quick. It was like the moment it was released, it's just everything started happening all at once.
Oh.
It was like the United States, boom, UK, boom. It was really quick.
Nice.
I don't even have words to explain it, to be honest. I mean, I guess it's been since October that this has been happening. And obviously it's on a slight, like it's a plateau right now because I'm not promoting it, as much, which I should be.
For sure.
I mean, it's just, I'm just in the process of making more music to try to boost it back up.
I love that. Yeah. Let me try to rephrase it in a different way, maybe. I think I wasn't necessarily asking the question in the right way.
Okay.
No, because a lot of what I find is that for artists, some of the most popular things that they have, it's because it is so accessible and it's easy to relate to, it's easy to get to. So has your songwriting always been this accessible, or have you had to kind of bring it back a little bit to make something that's like this, where it is laid back, it is easier for people to get hooked to, or has it always been this way?
I feel like maybe it's always been that way. I know sometimes I do think about that. Like, when people are writing pop songs, most pop songs tend to be very like universal.
Yes.
It's not, just going one direction. I mean, I don't know. When I wrote this song, I just sort of embodied how I felt. I guess I wasn't really thinking about, anything else or anyone else or trying to make it relatable. I just was writing. I just wrote from my own experiences, for this one, for sure. I wanted this one to be all about authenticity and just telling the world who I am and why it took me so long to come back and what I was going through. But I'm sure that the next songs that I write, like other pop songs that I've written, they are definitely relatable to other people. I made sure that it was like catchy, things like that. But, I feel like it's a good balance. If you can write songs like that and then write songs that are more personal and more like straightforward to who you are, then
for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I think some of the greatest art comes from both, because you can have things that are super memorable because they're easy for people to get, and then there's the stuff that, wow, that is very specific, and yet I love this track so much. So can we expect a little bit of both for the EP, or is it going to be kind of like maybe later down the line we'll get more personal stories from you?
This one is strictly personal.
Ooh.
It's almost too personal. It's all up in my business. It is definitely an all up in my business EP. I mean, I have one track on there. It's called Insecure, and I'm just talking over a beat
Oh,
about
dang.
how I feel. And I waited until there was one of those nights where I really, really felt it. And I got my mic, I got everything set up, and I just started talking. And obviously, you have to make edits because you're to make it cohesive. But yeah, definitely. It's definitely all up in your business type of EP. Very risky, I think, to start with, but I think it's worth it in the end.
Nah, I definitely feel that. Well, Aname Rose, I think we have reached the end of our show. I just wanted to thank you once again for popping in, talking to us about your good feeling and all the projects coming up. And is there anything else you'd like to say to the audience before we say goodnight?
No, not really. Thank you for tuning in, those of you that are. And thank you, Maddie. I appreciate you for asking me to do this. It was really fun.
Yay! I'm so glad. All right. Goodbye, my love. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye. Have a good one.
All right, folks. And that is the end of our show. Thank you so much again for tuning into This Band is Real. Don't forget, we have another podcast episode next Wednesday. We'll be back here next Thursday. But until then, listen to more podcasts, listen to more music, laugh and love. You know, all the good things. Okay.